What's up, Hoopers? This is Coach Alex from THINCPRO Basketball, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about one-on-one basketball and defensive tips to help you become a better defender in one-on-one situations. Let's get started. All right, guys, well, like I said, it's all about one-on-one basketball today, but we're playing defense. We're going to talk about a few different things to help you become a better defender when you're playing one-on-one basketball. All right, so I got my man Buddy out here. Buddy is the offensive player, so what I'm gonna do, because his hands are up here and he can't really hold the ball, I'm gonna put it down here as if he's dribbling or holding on to the basketball, okay? So there's a couple of things that you have to think about when you're playing in a one-on-one game. What type of player are you playing against? What's their strengths and weaknesses? How are you going to guard them, okay? So right now what we're gonna say, this first example, we're gonna say Buddy is a shooter. Okay, Buddy's a great shooter. He's got the ability to put the ball on the floor, shoot threes, mid-range. All right, so he's a great shooter from the perimeter. So how would you want to play that? Obviously, we don't want to sit and dare him to shoot, or he's going to make us pay all day. We want to be up. We want to be pressuring Buddy because, number one, we want to make him put the ball on the floor. Yes, I said he can put the ball on the floor to get his jumper off, but can he put the ball on the floor to drive to the basket? Can he break you down? A lot of the times a player like this is just going to be looking to take maybe one or two dribbles to get their shot off. They're not so comfortable putting the ball on the floor. They have the ability to, but they're not very comfortable. So if Buddy has the ball here, I want to be in a position where I'm close enough where I can disrupt his handle, right? So if he's dribbling the ball, I can disrupt it. I can kind of get into him to maybe, so as an offensive player, he has to turn his back a little bit where he's out of his comfort area. So I'm here, I'm pressuring into him, I'm stepping up into him, making him uncomfortable. I'm making him put the ball on the floor because he's not gonna be able to get his shot up right here because I'm here, I've got my hand up, and if he does rise up to shoot it, all I have to do is rise up with him, okay? So in this position here, let's talk a little bit about hand placement. So if I'm guarding Buddy here and I'm in this position, I'm disrupting the ball. And I was always taught that you have one hand in, meaning I got one hand in to disrupt the basketball, and I have another hand to take away a pass. But we're in one-on-one, so we're not worried about the pass. So this other hand, I have to disrupt and trace the basketball. So if Buddy goes from down here dribbling the basketball to shooting it, I have this other hand that's already free, right? So I'm here, I'm disrupting, Buddy rises up to shoot, boom, I'm there right there with him. Okay, so you want to be able to disrupt the basketball player that has the ball, and you want to be able to have that hand that's ready to disrupt the jump shot. Whether you block it is not a big deal, but you're there to contest. If you're there to get your hand right in the face of that offensive player, it's going to disrupt what they're trying to do. Okay, so we want to be in a position again where we're forcing this offensive player to put the ball on the floor, and we're in a position where we can disrupt the handle and still contest the jumper. So that's the first part, is knowing the strength of a shooter and what to do and how to play them if you're playing against somebody who can shoot the ball from the perimeter and put it on the floor for one or two dribbles to get their shot off. All right, so we just talked about playing against a shooter in a one-on-one situation. Now let's talk about playing somebody who's more of a driver, somebody who's more comfortable in getting into the paint area, getting close to the basket. So how would you play them? Well, if they're not a great shooter from the perimeter, then we don't need to be all the way up in them, because then they could use their speed, they can use their advantage of being able to put the ball on the floor to break us down. So with this positioning, we want to give a little bit more of a gap to somebody who's more of a driver. So what I would do if I was you is I want to be arm's length away, right, where I can still kind of disrupt the ball handler, and then I can give a late contest if they do shoot the basketball. But I want to be in enough space where if they do make a move, I have enough distance from that basketball or the ball handler to then react to it. So if they did take a dribble, boom, I can still take one step and I'm still there, because if I'm here and they take that one dribble, they might force me to open up out of my stance. Now I have to turn and try to recover and get to them before they make a play. But if I'm in a position where I've given them a gap, so you see the space between me and Buddy right here, it's about, you know, an arm's length and a half away, I'm here, so any move that he makes, I'm ready to jump to that direction. If he shoots the basketball, I can give a late contest, not a contest right when he shoots it, but one that's late right after he releases the basketball to give an attempt, right? Or if he's really a poor shooter and we know they're not gonna shoot the basketball, then you can do what teams used to do to Rajon Rondo and just sit, right? Wait for them to force and wait for them to drive to you, okay? Because we don't want to get close to a driver where they're able to put the ball on the floor and break us down, get us out of our position, and to create that advantage for themselves. We want to give that gap, right? So that's the main thing I want you to think about. Give the gap, right? So you can give a late contest afterwards. You can beat them either direction to the spot because you're already in a position. All right, so that's the main thing. It's very important to do that when playing against a driver. So we've just talked about guarding a shooter and somebody who's a perimeter threat. Then we just talked about somebody who puts the ball on the floor and who's better at driving towards the basket because they're not such a great shooter. Next, I want to just talk about a few things that you can do with your foot positioning and shading the basketball. So let's dive right into that next. Okay, so the last little tip I want to give you is just your foot positioning and ways that you could play offensive players in a one-on-one situation. So right now, let's say Buddy is a right-handed basketball player. He's dominant hand. He loves going to that right dribble. He loves going to his right hand to get his pull-up jump shot. So what can I, as a defender, do? Well, the bad thing to do would be to take away his left and force him to his right. So we want to do just the opposite. So if Buddy's right-handed, he's trying to get this direction, I want to take that away from him. So what I'm going to do is put my left foot up, right? So I've got a high foot, but now I call this ole defense, meaning you're given a passageway to just go, ole, ole. We don't want to do that. Okay, so we don't want to be in a position where our chest is totally square to the sideline where we're just giving this lane to the basket. I want to have a high foot up, right, where I know that if Buddy tries to go to the right hand, I'm able to put my shoulder and my body in his direction, in his way, so he can't go that way. But I'm not giving him a total lane straight to the basket because I have this foot that's forcing him to this sideline. So if he dribbles this way, the only direction he's going to be able to go is out rather than in towards the basket. So anytime you're shading, right? Anytime you're shading or forcing an offensive player one direction, do not open up, number one, but have a high foot, right? So your high foot is on that side that they're trying to dribble the basketball and force them to the sideline. Use that sideline as another help. So I'm here, I'm in this position, so I know that the only direction that this offensive player can go is towards the sideline, not towards the basket. Now, if he's a left-handed player, it's the opposite. Right? I'm in a position now, my right foot's the high foot, my left foot is forcing him straight to the sideline. He has nowhere to go but out, and I'm able to beat him to the spot. Okay, so your foot positioning is important. Now, if you're playing against a player who's got the ability to go right hand, who's got the ability to go left, I want to be in a flat, squared up position, right? Where your feet are equaled up. Boom, now you're here, so if he goes either direction, you're in a position where you can slide either way and cut him off. Okay, so you have to, again, know the strengths and weaknesses of the offensive player. Know what kind of player you're playing against. Are they a shooter? Are they a driver? And how are you going to position yourself as a defensive player? Are you up and pressuring, forcing them to dribble the basketball? Are you giving them the gap? Are you shading them one direction? Those are all things that you must think about when playing in a one-on-one situation because you have the entire court to defend. All right, so think about those things when you're trying to become a better defender in a one-on-one situation because when you become a great one-on-one player defensively, that's gonna help you become a better team player defensively as well. So I hope you learned something. This was the video of how to become a better defender in one-on-one basketball. All right, well, first of all, give Buddy a hand of applause for the help that he gave throughout this video. Anyways, what I need you to do is subscribe to THINCPRO Basketball as we're releasing great content every single week to help you become a better basketball player, whether it's dealing with things on the offensive end, scoring, shooting, ball handling, or things like you saw today, defense, which is a very important part of the game, and it's a very important part to help you get on the court to improve your playing time. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, click the like button, then leave a comment and let us know what you think and what you want to see in the future so we can continue to do what we love to do by helping you improve on your game. But the most important thing that you do today before you leave is to hit that subscribe button and join THINCPRO Basketball. I can't tell you enough on how important, how much fun, and how much enjoyment you will get if you join our channel. All right, so until I see you again next time, Hoopers, get out there, hit the gym, hit the court, challenge your best friend or teammates to a one-on-one game and work on the things that we've talked about in today's video. And most importantly, remember to always keep hooping. See you next time.